It's another new venue and another new event on the Legends Tour, as the field moves from England last week across the Irish Sea to Northern Ireland, where we will see who comes out as King of the Castle at Gál Gorm. Hello and welcome to the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends here at Gál Gorm, just outside of Belfast, a golf course which is widely regarded as one of the best parkland courses in the country. It's a venue new to the Legends Tour, but not to top-level golf, having staged the Irish Open and numerous other professional events over the years. Our most recent winner, having claimed his maiden Legends Tour victory, is Steve Webster. Having turned 50 back in January, he was playing in just his 7th tour event when he claimed the Grass & Co. English Legends hosted by Roger Chapman. Webby, mate, great to be with you here in Northern Ireland, just off that fresh victory last week in England. How does that feel?
It was obviously a great week, really special.
Yeah.
Got off to a great start, played really good. I was 12 under after 2 days, which pretty much did all the damage.
We're going to go back to last week. We've got a very special moment here.
Oh, this is one of my good shots.
So you're on the green, you've got a one-shot lead, I believe, at this point, at 11 under par. You've managed to find the green in 2, which is a par 5 last. Talk to me about this feeling with all these crowds behind you.
It was just a great feeling, because it was obviously a tough shot, and I found out I needed, I could have 3 puts to win the tournament, which is obviously quite nice. And I just thought, let's try and finish with an eagle. That was my mindset.
For you to get that shot there on the green and stop
hard.
it is really...
Yeah, it was tough.
And then it's not done there yet, actually, because the green is a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew, because it was downhill, that the pace wasn't going to be a problem. I just wanted to hit my start line.
Nearly made it.
But I was so happy to hit the green, because like you say, it's a really tricky hole.
Yeah.
But it was nice to hit the green.
And then the marker went down. Little sigh of relief there, maybe, little few breaths there.
Yeah.
Looking up, seeing what you're doing. Everybody round the green now at this point.
Yeah, it was obviously really nice atmosphere. And I just thought, please tap this in, don't miss this one.
Put a drop there. You look like a relieved man at that point, Webby.
It took some doing, mate. It was. I was chatting to Peter Baker after that. They were great to me, the players. He said it's hard to win, mate. I went, geez, it felt really tough. And then my sister's boys come running off, so that made it worthwhile. Yeah, those moments like that must feel so special. I remember speaking to you post-round. You said that was one of the most stressful rounds of golf that you've had. It's strange. It's just your mind's wondering, thinking, oh, can I finish it off? And I think it got me a bit refocused again.
With a trophy.
Oh yeah,
And that's a great little shot.
Great feeling.
The victory moved the Englishman to just outside the top 10 in the Order of Merit in 12th spot. The chasing pack are hunting down Scott Hend in top position. The Australian has form here at Gál Gorm, having finished tied 11th in the DP World Tour's Irish Open just 5 years ago. But it's a strong field that includes 7 of the top 10 alongside a multiple winner on the island of Ireland, Ian Woosnam.
I think when I come to Ireland, I think the atmosphere it's so relaxing for me. Golf courses are great, crack's great, and I just feel relaxed. And the Irish people are so friendly.
What do you make of the golf course? New venue this week for the Legends Tour here at Gál Gorm. How are you getting on? Do you like the venue?
I'll tell you what, I love it. There's lots of water around. It's in great condition. And you've got to play some good golf here. If you don't play good golf, you're going to get in trouble. And
a lot of the players that I've spoke to already this week, they're saying it's narrow around here, it's tight. What's the challenges around here for the tournament this week?
I think, for me, if you can get yourself off to a decent start, you can play aggressive if you want to, but you could get into some real trouble. But then, if you're a few shots back on the last day, you could just take the course on, and you can do a good low score around here. I'm sure you can.
Coming up later in the show, David Howell offers some words of wisdom to Gál Gorm's junior club captain.
So we're going to play Beth Page, number 8, 186 yards. Me versus you.
But first of all, let's get to the best of the early rounds action with our commentary team of Warren Humphreys and Michael McMullen.
Thanks, Trey, and we'll start with the former world number one, Ian Woosnam. Twice an Irish Open champion and also a winning Ryder Cup captain in Ireland. He had just birdied the 10th on day 2 to get back to 1 over par, when he sadly had to withdraw because of injury.
For Scott Ewan McIntosh, it was an eagle and 6 birdies and just 1 bogey in round 1, and looking to add a second Legends Tour victory to his name as he opened up with a 65.
In dream conditions, first round scores were very low, and starting his bid for back-to-back wins, Steve Webster was among the best of them. This set up birdie on the 18th. The Englishman had no dropped shots in a 7 under par 65.
At the start of the week, there had been 2,883 rounds recorded on the Legends Tour this season, and nobody had recorded back-to-back eagles until Austrian Marcus Breer did that on holes 8 and 9 in his opening bogey-free round of 65. Quite an achievement.
Michael Lundberg hasn't yet won on the Legends Tour, but he's been in great form recently, and the Swede was also among the 65s on day 1, aided by a tap-in birdie here on 18.
The Legends Tour number 1 this season, Scott Henn got off to a flyer with 4 birdies on each side of the course in his bogey-free round of 64, 8 under par. One of 6 players to achieve bogey-free rounds in round 1.
So the Queenslander proved to be the Wizard of Oz in the glorious weather of day 1. But overnight everything changed, and so the second round would be played in some very tough conditions. In truth, local ground staff did a fine job just to keep play going. Lundberg had a double bogey at the 6th, but otherwise kept it all quite tidy. And despite just missing this birdie attempt on 15, he got it round in 71. 8 under par, with 1 round to go, as he continues the search for that breakthrough success among the over 50s. Breer was on a run of 4 birdies in 5 holes by the time he got to the 8th, and kept the momentum going with a fine up and down to save par. The chipping masterclass continued at the next, but this one set up a birdie. And Breer would be the only player to break 70 on both of the first 2 days. Lundberg 2 back, Simon Griffiths trailing by 3, as rounds of 65 and 69 put Breer back where he belongs.
It has been a very long time that I've been even in contention, or didn't have a top 10 for a long time. So I'm a bit excited, yes, but I'm happy to be back there, and I just hope to find a good rhythm tomorrow and have some decent weather, and then we'll see what comes along.
Well, the rain did largely disappear for the final day, but the winds, well, they got even stronger. Breer has had a win on the Legends Tour before, but that was almost 4 years ago. And as he alluded to, he's had to wait a while for another chance like this. Lundberg has yet to cross that barrier, but knows how to win, having done so 3 times on the DP World Tour, while Griffiths is in search of his 3rd Legends Tour win in 10 months, as the final trio get the last lap started.
Philip Price didn't get off to the best of starts with a bogey on the first hole, but after an excellent drive at the second, this exquisite chip earned him a birdie, and it got the Welshman back to even par for the day. Lionel Alexandra was another player who tripped up on the first with a bogey, but that gutsy putt down and across the slope for his birdie got the Frenchman back to where he started at 5 under par.
Now, when you're defending a lead, this is not the sort of par saver you want to face on the opening green. Unless, of course, you make it, even if only just. Breer then, with a little nerve settler to keep himself at 12 under. James Kingston has already won on the island of Ireland this year at Mount Juliet in May. He had 2 pars to start, then birdied the 3rd. We join him on his way to the 4th, Warren.
Always a sweet swinger, James, and Oh, pretty good shot there. Little extra backspin, but not surprising with these pretty sodden greens at the moment after the rain of the previous day.
So this is where our leader has put his tee shot at the second. Hasn't finished any better than 14th so far this year, so a massive improvement on the cards here this week.
Well, that was some round of golf he played on the second day. Absolutely atrocious conditions. I wouldn't have wanted to have been out then. Little conservative with the tee shot for Lundberg on this short par 4, only 336 yards, and off that side hill lie, that's a very good shot coming out of the semi-rough.
Yeah, Lundberg has had a third, a fourth and 2/5 this season. He's not so much knocking on the door as banging on the windows in that search for a win. Now James Kingston birdied this hole in rounds 1 and 2, and he's done it again. 6 under for the popular South African.
They're certainly loving the greens round here, aren't they, the pros this week? Absolutely superb, the surfaces to putt on.
Now, news of Simon Griffiths. He started his day by putting his opening tee shot out of bounds, ran up a double bogey 6 at the first. Looking to get one of them back here at the next hole, and he'll have a chance to do that.
Yeah, it's not the ideal way to start, is it? That knocks the confidence a little bit as we go ahead to Ewan McIntosh on the 4th.
Yeah, just birdied the third hole after starting with a couple of pars. Disappointing day yesterday with 75, 10 shots worse than his first round, but off to a good start today, continuing with that.
Bria birdie putt then at the second hole. Oh, a little early bobble, but it doesn't make any difference. In she goes, and my word, has he putted well so far this week. Looks very cool, calm and composed.
Lionel Alexandra got off to a great start this season, 4th in Marbella, 3rd in Barbados. They remain by far his best this year.
Just coming off back-to-back birdies, that's an excellent approach and should have another chance there. Man who needs to finish inside the top 20 of the rankings at the end of the season to avoid going to the Q School.
Well, he loves Q School though, because he's come through it in all of the last 3 years. Amazing achievement, but of course you'd rather avoid it if you can. Now Simon Griffiths double bogey at the first, never really threatened to get the birdie at the second, but it steadies things a little and he will proceed from there.
Well, can Alexandra make it 3 birdies on the bounce with this left to right breaking putt for him? Ooh, if he'd hit it just a little harder, may have kept its line. Wind coming from that side as well, so that might have had an effect. Certainly a 2, maybe 3 club wind out there. They're playing in really tough conditions.
Michael Lundberg then to get back the stroke he dropped at the opening hole. It was a good chance and he wasn't far away, so he'll stay 7 under.
Looked to be a little bit of body movement in that just as he was going through the impact area. Maybe not feeling as confident as he normally is.
Saw that lovely approach shot from McIntosh. This for back-to-back birdies. Job done, and the Scot continues his promising start to the day. So just a couple of holes in, and Marcus Breer has already doubled his overnight lead to 4 shots over Lundberg and Adilson de Silva, who's followed an opening birdie with a couple of pars. Still plenty of time to chase down the Austrian, though, at Galgorm Castle.
Welcome back to highlights of the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends as part of our Future Legends series. Galgorm Castle's junior captain Brendan Mulgrew headed to the range to play a hole with former Ryder Cupper David Howell.
Brendan, David Howell, how are you?
Nice to meet you, David.
So we're going to play Bethpage number 8, 186 yards. Me versus you.
Yes.
We're going to see who's going to win.
Okay.
So 186 yards, squeezy 8.
Yeah.
That was a little squeezy cut. Let's have a look. That is really, really bad news, because that was awesome. 18 feet, 1 inch.
There's still plenty of room in that.
Do you think?
Yeah.
It's a very nice shot. What do you think? Better or worse?
Probably better. Set.
Oh no, just slightly worse. Very good though, 20 feet. You're good, aren't you? Are we thinking about turning pro? You should be with that swing.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, I'm going to try go to the States next year for college over in America. And
great idea. Those 3 shots were identical. Why are you only off +2? You're a terrible putter.
Yes. There you go.
Oh, look at this.
Set.
17 feet. So your first one was your best one?
No, that was the best one.
Is it?
Yeah. The first one was 18-1.
Oh, right, yeah, I can't count.
16-7.
Come on, Howell. Oh, I'll tell you what, I quite like that.
That's not bad.
I quite like that. Sit, sit.
Not bad. It's not bad for your first attempt.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Drift. What do you think, Ren?
That's probably in the hole.
In the hole? 4:32 is getting better. Oh, mate. If you'd like to just mention what's happened there. I mean, feel free to use any words you want.
He just beat me.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
What are you thinking of your chances this year in the Ryder Cup against a strong
Do you know what I've been saying all along this year? We're going to win. What do you make of the 8th at Bethpage?
Yeah, it was. It's a tricky hole, but I didn't feel like I put a bad strike in the 3 shots I hit and I still got beat. So that's what happened.
I'll tell you what, from what I see, Ryder Cup is in your future. Go Europe.
Thank you.
Well, David would know after being part of winning teams at Oakland Hills and the K Club, and here in just his 3rd Legends Tour event, he finished just outside the top 40.
On the toughest hole all week, the par 4-6, Mikael Lundberg finally got the flat stick to work as he birdied it to get back to 7 under par for the tournament.
Having bogeyed the first and parred everything else, Andrew Marshall had a chance of his first birdie at number 7. The putt just about got there, but at 6 under he needed a few more of those to really get into the mix.
And what about this putt from Steve Webster for his 2 at the 7th? Right across the entire green. And that has to be the longest putt hold all week by anyone in the field. Webster brilliantly back to 6 under par.
Level par for the day, Philip Price missed the green and found a bunker at the short 5th, but from there, he almost holed out. The Welshman remains 5 under.
Two birdies and 1 bogey so far for Ewan McIntosh as he played his 2nd shot to the par 5 9th, which would earn the Scot a very valuable eagle on a day when birdies are hard to come by. He's out in 33 and 7 under par.
James Kingston had already picked up a couple of birdies, then gave himself the chance of another here on 8. He didn't make it, but he did then birdie the next hole and the one after that.
Lionel Alexandra was 5 under par when he stood over this long putt at the 7th. And doing a Steve Webster as he holed out that monster putt for his birdie to go to 6 under.
He then parred the 8th and eagled the 9th. Now you don't often see back-to-back eagles, but Alexandra delivered from just off the 10th green, so after Breer's efforts, we've now seen it twice this week.
And as for the tournament leader Marcus Breer, this beautifully flighted pitch salvaged his par at the 6th, and his short game now matching up to his long game prowess as he stayed at 11 under par.
Solid front running then for the man from Vienna, but not for the first time in this final round. He left himself work to do for par at the 7th. Once again though, he got the job done. Twice a winner on the DP World Tour, Breer still looking good to make it 2 Legends Tour wins as well. And with Alexandra having followed those consecutive eagles by dropping a shot at the 11th, Breer is a couple clear. He's just kept the run of pars going at number 8, and this is where the front 9 ends.
The 9th hole, par 5, is a great chance at picking up some shots. However, the tee shot is not easy. There's some bunkers on the right and the players are going to be able to reach them. That's going to make everybody aim a little bit more left, but there is water over on the left side of the fairway. If you are on the green in 2, it's going to be a great chance at picking up a birdie or even better.
Well, Lundberg did pick up a birdie as we saw back on 6, but he's just bogeyed the 8th, so he's 2 over for the day. And in a spot here, Warren.
Yeah, brave shot to have a go at the green with such an awkward start. Ball so far above his feet, but he's got it over the drink, which is the important thing. So a pitch and a putt and he can still make birdie.
Alexandra, the definition of a mixed bag today. 2 eagles, 3 birdies, 3 bogeys. It all adds up to 4 under for the round though. And you can see Scott Hend in the background there. First round leader with 64, but struggled in the tough conditions on day 2. Slumped to a 76, taking him back to 4 under, which is where he remains. Meanwhile, Alexandra has given himself a chance to get into double digits. Here's our leader, Warren.
Yeah, he's coming straight downwind for his second shot to the par 5. So looking to get this one nice and cosy. 211 yards to go. And he's played an excellent shot, so setting up an eagle chance, that would be very useful.
And from an Austrian to a man who won in Austria back in 2022, Ewan McIntosh. Since that eagle at the 9th, he picked up another shot on 10, gave it back at the 11th, and this is for birdie at 12. And he'll be happy enough for that. Coming in here off the back of a share of 20th at Brocket Hole last time out, his second top 20 this season.
Not a lot of room for Lundberg here on the 9th to get to the flag. Got to go fairly aerial to try and get it close. In fact, he should have pitched it on the green, but it's going to end up okay for him. Chance for a birdie. And talking of birdies, Lionel Alexandra, a chance for a 2 on 12. Came into the last round, even par for the par 3s, but that's his second birdie of the day on the short holes. So doing very well.
So Breer has already eagled the 9th once this week. This to do it again and be out in 33.
Oh, he was a little tentative for that big old tweet. I thought he might have been a bit more aggressive than that. I suppose he'll take the birdie. I always remember Mark James saying, never go for eagle putts. I never know why, but that was his saying.
James Kingston, he'll be 60 later this year, you know, still such a good player.
Very athletic too, lining that one up just on the left edge, pulled it a little but it's still wriggled in. So good par saving putt for the South African.
All in all, you'd have to say it hasn't been the outward journey that Michael Lundberg was hoping for, but he can finish it on a positive note. Yeah, gets his birdie. Still though, he's out in 37. So birdies for both Breer and Alexandra keep the difference between them at 2, and there's a 3-shot gap between the Frenchman in second and the rest of the chasing pack. All smiles for the leader then, but still some way to go in the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends. Welcome back to the final round of the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends at Galgorm Castle, where Marcus Breer of Austria is a couple clear starting the back nine.
It was all pars on the back nine for Steve Webster as he stood over that putt on the 13th. And would you believe it, he's holed another monster putt, so remains at 6 under.
James Kingston's bid to win on both sides of the Irish border in the same year will come up short. This was a chance to birdie the last for a 68. But par still makes it his best round of the week and gets him in at 7 under.
Michael Lundberg had that putt for his eagle at the 10th, and while it didn't drop, it was back-to-back birdies for the Swede, and his at 8 under par, just 4 back from Breer.
More magic around the greens for Philip Price, and this time it did drop for him. A 2 at the short 14th, and he's now 8 under as well.
An eagle, a birdie and 3 bogeys made it a nervy back nine for the Frenchman Alexandre, but this chip earned him a par at the 17th to remain at 8 under par.
Breer started for home with pars at 10 and 11. His putt from just off the green never really threatened to deliver birdie at the 12th, but in his position another par was just fine, and that was what he got. Not so at the next hole, however, where Breer had his first dropped shot of the round, but untimely bogeys for Alexandre at 13 and 16 mean the lead is 3.
The 14th is the last of the par 3s that the players are going to be facing. It's really important to hit this green, but what makes that a challenge is the hazard that lurks all the way around this green. Look at this, only 2 paces off it sits, the right-hand side of this green. But alternatively, any back hole pin locations, any players with a bit of adrenaline in the veins in the last few groups, it's going to be there lurking, ready to catch that errant tee shot.
And at 14 we find Lundberg. He's on a run of 7 sub-par rounds in a row coming into this one. Level par for the day.
Wind a little off the right and downwind, but not quite holding it up enough. So tricky to pick a right club when the conditions are as windy as this. Breer now would love to get this close. Well, he's watching it, eyeing it up and down, and that's beautifully drawn in, using the wind, using his natural shape, and an excellent chance for a 2.
Player who finished 12th in the Open Championship back in 2007 when Padraig Harrington won for the first time at Carnoustie. Now Andrew Marshall is having a fairly quiet day. He's level par for it at the moment.
Oh, what a shot that is. My goodness me, dancing around the hole. Might be down for a birdie.
Not such a quiet day now.
God, it's looking pretty wild out there. Look how that flagstick is bending. Using the putter from off the green, Texas wedge style for Lundberg, and very good roll.
You give players at this level greens in good condition, as all the players are saying they are this week, and they will always deliver. Male and female in the gallery this week, old, and in that case very, very young.
Well, hold on to your hats for more than one reason, because Breer's got a chance for another birdie, and he makes it, so that's a good bounce back after the bogey of the previous hole. Back at 12 under.
The 17th fairway has a slight nuance to it. If we look in the player's yardage book here, you can see those lines which indicate that this fairway cambers from the left to the right. So that means any balls that are played below the feet here, it's going to impart a little bit of left to right for a right-handed golfer towards a big bunker that's waiting short right to catch any of those golf shots.
Jeev Milka Singh tackling the penultimate hole. He was out in 37, but a couple under for his back nine.
And the ball is below his feet here as he plays to 17. Can he control that left to right spin? He can. That's very well played by Jeev.
Marcus Brear's been so solid today, and he's been pretty solid all season. 4 top 20 finishes, including one at Brocket Hall last time out, but he still hasn't had a top 10. Much loftier ambitions than just writing that today.
106 yards into the pin on this 384-yard par 4 hole, and that's right in his wheelhouse for Brear. They're the ones he likes.
You talk about solid, it's 9 pars in a row now for Steve Webster.
Beautiful looking swing he has. It's so simple, straight up and down the line. Nicely controlling that shot, even though he was coming from the rough.
It's going to take a very big finish now from Michael Lundberg if he's to have a chance of getting that first win on the Legends Tour today. This would be a lovely way to start if he could roll this one in to get to 9 under.
He's certainly been hesitant with the putter all day long. It just obviously doesn't feel good in his hands today for some reason.
Well, we saw Singh's approach to 17. Can he convert now to get to 7 under? Yeah, not quite. He won some big tournaments, didn't he, in his regular tour career? The Volvo Masters, the Scottish Open, a man for the big occasion.
Yes, the first Indian player to win on the DP World Tour. And a very nice man too, charming.
Simon Griffiths, dressed in a colour that probably reflects his mood on a day when he's currently 3 over for the round. But that'll help.
Yeah, maybe looking for a big finish. Never give up, that's the story of the day. Webster, slightly shorter putt this one than the 2 previous monsters that he's holed, but that one goes in. I tell you what, Steve, do not sell that putter for any price.
Yeah, he had a good finish at the Senior Open, and it seems to have transformed his whole year, because then he was 7th in Scotland and the win at Brocket Hall to follow that, and it's turning into another good week for him. Philip Price, though, has had nothing better than tied 13th this year. Remarkable for a player of his quality.
Oh, and nicely done. Anything you can do, Stevie, I can do just as well. Having a bit of a ding-dong match, those two. Not much in it between Price and Webster.
Well, if Marcus Brear makes this, he will be 5 shots ahead.
Yeah, and if you can get 5 ahead, get 5 ahead. If you can get 6 ahead, that's great. So you can choke in comfort and still win. That's what Dale Hayes always reckoned. Although I don't think he has any thoughts of letting this one slip away.
Yeah, there's been absolutely no sign of a wobble. OK, he did have that bogey on 13, but he's hit back with consecutive birdies. Lundberg now with a little tester to save par at the 15th.
Yes, that was a more rhythmical putting stroke from Lundberg.
Well, how about 3 eagles in the round? That's the chance Alexandra has, but massive odds against doing it.
Really? Really from there?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Oh, he couldn't have been closer, Warren.
That is amazing. My goodness me. Can't remember the last time someone had 3 eagles in one round.
Well, he's only had 6 pars today. I think that tells you a lot about how it's been. After going so close to the eagle, he certainly won't want to miss out on the 4 to finish. Well, it was nothing if not eventful, especially with that rare feat of 2 eagles in a row mid-round. But a closing 68, unlikely to be good enough, as Brear is 4 ahead of him with only 3 holes left to play. Still time though for Lundberg, and to a lesser extent Price, to give themselves some chance of swooping in at the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends. It's the final round of the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends at Galgorm Castle, where Marcus Brear has a 4-shot lead. Adilson de Silva has done plenty right in this final round, but too many dropped shots have prevented a real last day charge. A moment to remember though at 17, yielding a late birdie for the Brazilian. A 7-time winner on the Legends Tour, he gets it to 5 under. But could the leader conjure up something similar from a greenside bunker at the 16th? Breer needed to hole out to save par and gave it a good go. Still a few feet left from there, but he did get his 5. So that's 2 bogeys in the last 4 holes for Breer, but having birdied the other 2, the outcome is still very much in his hands. And so barring a late collapse, it's primarily a battle for second now.
Being in position right here on the 18th is going to give you a great look at getting at this par 5 in 2. However, the job is not done there yet. You're going to be playing from around 240 yards, and there's a huge hazard that stretches from 55 yards all the way up the left-hand side of this green. If you're a fader of the ball, you're going to be loving it. Fading it off the hazard into the heart of the green is going to be perfect. But if you've got the Toby turnovers, left is an issue. It's going to be waiting there, lurking to collect any errant golf shots.
The 18th, 526 yards, but playing down the breeze. Philip Price here with his second. Trying to bring this one in from the other side, from the right, trying to draw it in. And he's pitched that absolutely perfectly. And that's setting up a very sweet eagle putt for him.
Yeah, and he will have that to overtake Alexandra's target and give himself a real chance of outright second. Lundberg also still battling for that status.
Once again, a player with the ball below his feet, promoting a slight fade into this flag. Hence he's held it up a little on the left side, but outside chance for the 3.
He's been third 4 times in his Legends Tour career, Lundberg. Never higher, so this could be the best result of his career out here. Now Webster, saw him birdie 17.
Terrific drive, and that's a fairly lofted iron coming into 18, so certainly more aggressive. Pitched it on the green, and he's managed to get it inside his playing partner Price, so that's 2 amazing shots there.
Marcus Breer in another bunker.
155 yards to go, not where he wanted to be, but he seems to have caught it cleanly, and that under the pressure is a terrific shot. He'd be very grateful to see the putting surface after finding that fairway bunker.
Jeev Milkha Singh has already been in the water on the final hole, but still has a chance to finish with a par. 2 putts from here, and that will be a closing 71, and it looks inevitable now that that's what he'll do.
He always looks so calm and measured, Jeev, no matter what the circumstances are. That's a pretty reasonable week, 6 under.
Yeah, his only top 10 so far this season was at Mount Juliet in May. He's poised for another one here, a couple of 100 miles north. Now, back to Breer. He could pretty much close the door here.
And I think if you'd asked him, do you want a 4 after driving into the bunker on 17, he would have snatched a hand off for it. So that's a good par. Still very much in control.
Yeah, Lundberg can still get to 9 under. Going to the 18th, which is a par 5, so Breer may still need a par to make sure. This is Price to finish his week with an eagle.
No eagle, but he is going to be able to tap in for a 68. Which does mean that if Webster holes, they'd be tied at 9 under.
As I said, it's not been the sort of year we expect from Philip Price, but this is going to be by far his best result of it. Steve Webster had such a wonderful week at Brocket Hall last time out. This will be a great way to sign off.
And can you believe it? Having holed 3 monster putts earlier on in the round, misses that one for eagle at the last, but still manages to break 70.
So Alexandra in at 9 under, Price in at 9 under. Lundberg has this to join them, and he'll still have one to play.
Absolute must-make putt for him, you would think. Oh my word, he's got it too. Well, he doesn't want to give this title up, does he? He's going to try right to the death. Excellent birdie on 17 for the Swede.
And it still just keeps a little bit of doubt as they go to the last. De Silva is already there. 3 bogeys on his back 9 so far, but he's just birdied 17.
Ball above his feet, promoting a draw, looking at the water, wood in hand. Where's that gone? Oh my gosh, it's nearly got into the hole for an albatross. What a shot to finish on.
And he is going to play the last 2 holes in 3 under. So Marcus Breer has things very much in his hands as he comes to the final hole.
And out with the 3 wood, maybe because he drove into the trees on the 16th with the driver. Bit of safety in this one. Find the fairway, that's all he needs to do. Plot his way nicely down the short grass, and the trophy must be his.
Breer with his caddy, Mike Morley, and Mike's son, Sam, is also here, caddying for Adilson De Silva, who's going to have a birdie eagle finish, and that will massively improve his week. Another player who's not had the year we might have expected, but he's come into a bit of form in the last few events. Great to see the sun out for this final day. Northern Ireland, such a hotbed of golf. McIlroy, McDowell and Clark, Ronan Rafferty in the 80s, and all the way back to Open champion Fred Daly. Now Andrew Marshall, 7th in Barbados, his best so far this year. He's going to better that here in Northern Ireland.
Yes, he may feel a little disappointed at making a par down the last on a hole that so many have birdied and eagled today.
As we go back down the 18th hole, we will find Michael Lundberg, and he has got eagle on his mind. He's got to find it and then hope for a little bit of help from Breer.
211 yards to go. Had plenty of eagles this week. In fact, we've had 38 of them. What would he give for an eagle on the last hole? Plenty. That's a great shot too. He's got himself an outside chance, but whew, that's got to be all of 35-40 feet.
Simon Griffiths, winner in Marbella at the start of the year. He'd already had his breakthrough win at La Manga a few months prior to that.
Huge tee shot, because he's only got 159 yards left to the flag, and with that amount of loft in his hand, too much spin. Could have done with a little bounce on.
So Lundberg does have a putt for eagle. That would see him in at 11 under, which is where Breer would finish if he was to bogey the last. And he did take 6 on this hole yesterday. He's laid up with his second here, Warren.
Yeah, sensible thing to do. Aiming this one, I'm sure, right of the flag, away from the water. Well, a little bit of safety built into that. Would have liked it closer. I've seen people 3-putt from there before. So he'll still be concerned coming down towards the green. It's never over till it's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And the very minimum target, I guess, for Lundberg is to make sure that he takes no more than 2 putts from here, because if he can succeed in that, he will be second on his own.
But I think he wants to put the pressure on Breer. Hole this. I think he'll give it a good run. Oh, maybe too much of a good run, and sometimes when you know you've got to give it a go, there's a little bit more punch in the putt.
Griffiths started his round by dropping 2 shots, this to finish it by picking up 2.
Oh my goodness, it was a sweet roll, wasn't it? Beautifully struck. He must have thought that had every chance. Quality of the greens this week has been exceptional.
Never had a chance really, did he, after playing the first 5 holes in 4 over, but he did pretty well after that, and for the 6th time this year he'll be in the top 10.
Now all he wants to do from here is just cozy it up to the hole, leave himself nothing to do.
And with 2 putts left, there is absolutely no doubt now about the outcome. Comfortable moments in the end for Breer, but he's earned being in that position. He's been so strong leading the tournament today. Lundberg kept it going to the end. The chance is gone now, but he's got this to be second on his own.
And a testy one too, a little bit of right to left. Well done.
He's getting closer, isn't he? 5 times this year now he's finished in the top 5, and although the win still eludes him, Lundberg is a Legends Tour runner-up for the very first time. Well, he has been a winner on this tour before. That was almost 4 years ago. But at Galgorm Castle in 2025, it's the year for Breer. Marcus is the champion at the Black Desert Northern Ireland Legends. And a sense of relief, I think, as much as anything on his face as he laps up. Congratulations all round. Just wonderful to win in a corner of the world so steeped in the game. He prevails by a couple of shots. Lundberg has his best ever finish on the Legends Tour. Alexandra equals his previous best by sharing third with Price.
Put your hands together for Marcus Breer.
2 wins on the DP World Tour, 2 on the Hotel Planner Tour, and now 2 on the Legends Tour for Marcus Breer, collecting his trophy just as the rain returns here in North Antrim.
Brilliant. I mean, I'm so happy, and after the last 2 years they were really not what I wanted, and to come back like this from nowhere land actually in my feelings, and it just feels so good.
Breer soars from 36th to number 12 in the order of merit. The top 6 are unchanged. Runner-up Lundberg climbs 3 places to number 7. So much still to come in this Legends Tour season, and next up we're off to Spain as Adilson de Silva defends his title at the European Legends Cup. Marcus Breer will be there too, looking to go back-to-back after a week when he came through the rain. The 57-year-old surviving the test better than the rest. We'll see you again next time at Rail Nuevo.